Oh my God, YouTube! It's your favorite mega church cult survivor. I've arisen out of my my sleeping slumber, and I'm here. I'm live, back as usual. I got a very busy day today, so I said let me come on and do a quick live. And we've been talking about a lot, guys. Hasn't the topic's been absolutely amazing? We've been talking about the eldest daughter syndrome. We've been talking about attachment and developmental theory, and how basically they put you back like in your development to like a baby, mentally, psychologically, where you can't think for yourself, you can't make decisions, you don't have like hypotheses, theory thinking, you don't have critical thinking, because they want you to be like a baby. Because these narcissists, these mogs and these leaders and whatever, they've got the mentality of an 11-year-old child. So they want everybody to be down and to not have an opinion. All right, so today it got me thinking, like, how do cults brainwash? And there's two main parts that I haven't discussed, because remember I said to you, look, I've just been healing, and this is huge. We could talk about cults forever, and we could talk about cults forever. It goes on and on and on. It's like a stream that never ends, Cher. And I was in there for 18 years, so I've got so much to talk about. God knew this day was going to come on. That I will have to be on the internet, I have to be exposed in the court. So 18 years was sufficient. And this is what they're always doing, shouting. I don't know how these guys keep their voice, but do you know what? They're siphoning our energy, and they're using our energy like a rechargeable battery, chair. So that's probably why they don't lose their voices and we all lose our voices. Isn't it amazing? But the cult leaders, you know what? They get all the sleep. They get treated like kings. They're moving their private jets, and then they arrive behind the pulpit to come and, give us whatever. Guess who was walking through Brixton yesterday? Got stopped by Bear Carris. Woo! Do you know what, Josh? I've got a screen. Look at my screen thing behind. Look, that's Carris out there. Carris have been out. There's a survivor called Jex that did a video. But anyway, let's listen to Josh on Instagram. He says, mad aggressive approach. Do you believe in Jesus? Angry face. And I shut them all down by informing them that I have been saved since last December, and they had nothing to say. Gag. Woo! They're out because with Carris, what it is at the moment is it's their month of evangelist, their Healing Jesus campaign. And First Love have it as well. But I have a feeling that First Love starts in August, because they're not out. Like you'll see First Love. First Love might be in the green T-shirts, because First Love do have different colors when they go out and evangelize. They have multicolor. But with Carris, it's like strict yellow. All right. So I want people to understand, how do these cult leaders indoctrinate us? How do they create these self-sealing systems, bubbles, whatever you want to call it, and keep people trapped in the self-sealing system? How do they do that? So there's two main parts that I haven't really gone into. And guys, this is just as new for me as it is for you. And that's Robert is it Lipton or Lifton? I think it's Lifton. His thought reform program. And then also I want to discuss totalitarianism and indoctrination, and how they do it through the totalist system. All right, so I'm going to start off by talking about what's totalitarianism got to do with cults. All right, and guys, if you're struggling to understand some of the concepts, you want me to break it down further, put it in more simplified language. I want everybody to understand, no matter what your learning needs are, no matter how you process, let me know as it's going on. If you don't get it, just say, Leah, can you talk about it a bit more, or can you clarify the point, or give me something so I know. Is that Oracle Mama, how y'all do? Let me know in the comments, because I want everybody to understand. Because guys, I can sit here for hours and go on and go on and go on, but unless you've understood it, unless you've started to make sense of what I'm talking about, it doesn't need to be all of it. Even if it's one part, or even if it's one part that you take away with you and you understand, these are I'm deprogramming you lot. That's what I'm doing. I'm trying to fast track deprogram people, because with the cult psycho ed world, there's 3 things you need to remember. Some of the content's not that engaging. Do you understand what I'm saying? And it's because it's scholarly people, academics, it's just loads of information, loads of words. And you might be a visual learner, you might have a learning difficulty, whatever. So it's really hard to know, where do I start? There's so many different things to cover. There's so many different areas. So this is why I'm trying to help with helping people, where do I start with deconstruction and deprogramming? Because that's the most important part. Them yellow shirts generally was over 300 of them. Woo! He said that there was over 300 of them, Chair, when he was walking through Brixton. Yeah, and that was what I think Jex was down them. Yeah, she was in Brixton. Because when I saw her video, I said, "Oh, I swear this looks like Brixton." You know where the charity shop is. But I used to go raving down there. Yeah. What was that? What was that little club called? There was a little club in Brixton that I used to go to. That club was lit. Yeah. Are you having a laugh? It was on that strip. You know, near Morley's, not the chicken shop, the shopping centre. Yeah. You get me? It was like at the end. Yeah. Woo! I used to have some good times there, baby. Anyway, all right, let's get into it. So totalitarianism in cults refers to the way in which cults, particularly those with authoritarian leadership, utilize manipulative tactics to control their members. So we spoke about the Stephen Hassan influence continuum, and we looked at influence at an organizational, leadership, and individual level, okay? And how they assert this control at an organizational level is through control, authoritarianism, this totalitarianism environment and structure where people can't have free thought. On the flip side of it, it looks like autonomous thinking, it looks like nurturing, it looks like people having the ability to have critical thought, to think independently, etc. Okay, so the whole hypothesis behind totalitarianism is people cutting off people's ability to think for themselves, to be able to have rationale. You're cutting them off from all type of critical thinking and processing, okay? So they're mirroring some aspects of totalitarianism states. These groups often employ methods of social and psychological manipulation to exert control over their followers, leading to a suppression of independent thought and behavior. So in these environments, they don't want you to have independent thought. And I'm going to break this down. If you haven't seen my narcissistic cult leaders, please go on my YouTube, Leah Lauder 777. I've got loads of content on there. So because the narcissist wants to wrap you in their bubble of psychosis, remember, they're not well. And this is a personality disorder that cannot be cured. They're rejects of society, these mogs and these cult leaders. Thanks, guys. Please like up the live on TikTok. And so they have the mindset of an 11-year-old, okay? So they don't want people to have independent thinking. They don't want a member to contradict them, to challenge them, to ask them something that they don't know, because that's narcissistic injury. How can someone do what? I'm explaining it right now. Do you have a learning difficulty, Butterfly? Do you need me to? Are you more? Do you need more sensory or visual? Do you have a disability where you need me? Because what I'm saying is so clear. Or are you a survivor? Butterfly, actually, let me ask first, because she might not be a troll. Butterfly, are you a survivor? Because I did say to people to ask. I forgot. Are you a survivor? So, and I'm going to get into how they do this, but literally it's through the indoctrination. So they create a transcendent belief system, yeah? And the transcendent belief system is the mystical manipulation. It's how they twist and manipulate the scriptures. Example, tithing is mentioned in the Bible, but it's not like a practice that if we don't do, we're going to go to HEOL. We don't hear Christ talking about it. Instead, Christ came to teach us a new covenant, okay? He didn't come to rewrite or check a new covenant. So when we look at, remember, Christ spoke in parables so that he who has an ear will be delivered from the old laws of control, whatever, yeah? So one of them that I think about is the widow's mite. So, you know, there was an emphasis on, it's not how much you give, because God sees the heart. You could have £10 to your name and go to church and give £1, but the pastor from the pulpit will be saying, £1, what is that to give your pastor? But they don't realize that some people, that's all that they blood clot have. And it's not about money. Again, do you understand with the widow's mite? Because Christ spoke in parables. Remember I said to you, God doesn't go by the social constructs and the man-made institutions and paper money that they do. Do you understand what I'm saying? That's why God wanted you to see it's not about the money. It's about the heart and it's about the intention. Thank you, Ramba. It's about the heart and it's about the intention. God judges and sees and weighs the heart. Man judges the outward appearance. They will judge you off the back of what you look like. If you got tats, if you got this, if you got that. Hey, Spice, that is innate within a human being. You have to there needs to be a lot of introspection. There needs to be a lot of healing. There needs to be a lot of reflection. There needs to be a lot of critical thinking. Thank you for the follow. There needs to be a lot of shadow work. There needs to be a lot of self-awareness. Do you understand that? Then you need to work through, be non-judgmental, be non-biased. You know what I'm saying? It's a whole process, yeah. So I hope that makes sense. And then they have a thought reform program through the transcendent belief system. And remember, recruitment in these cults is the lifeblood of the church cult. Okay, so they cannot survive without the constant recruitment. So it's like a conveyor belt. And then they have a pyramid scheme and a lot of systems and structures they introduce, ranking. Everything in these church cults is about ranking. Absolutely everything. Thank you, Kanika. Absolutely everything is about ranking, positions, titles, and that's how they indoctrinate you. They it's like it's mysticism. They hypnotize people. I put a spell on you, and now you're mine. I put a spell on you, and now you're mine. And they do that through musical, mystical manipulation as well. They'll be calling you, how many people here? I can feel some people here are suffering with, they've gone through a lot of trauma this year. I can see that you have lost family members, but it's okay. The Lord is, but in RPF they'll be saying, hallelujah, the Lord has come, break down the chains, may his glory come in up. You know, it's very hyper religious, is very hyper spiritual, is very, very hyper religious. Do you understand what I'm saying? I don't do lines. I used to shot lines. How about that? I'm a bad girl in the cut. Survivor of CCE, you get me? I'm a boss. Are you having a laugh? Never taken any lines a day in my life. But let me tell you something, in the roads, the man then put respect on my name. So you want to come in and talk human fecal matter? Go where? You get me? That's all you need to know, baby. Yeah, your girl was living it up. I was making money. Are you having a laugh? Man, them respect me outside in these streets. Are you joking? When man them would say, oh, Leah, we need you to hold this. Can we use your address? I said, no, bro. When there's a move, put me on. You get me? Put me on, bro. I want to be out with Jar. I want to be out with the trappers in the core. I want to be, do you get me? Like, don't ever get it twisted, baby. Don't ever get it twisted, baby. I know what that stuff does because I've been with GMs and I've been with top shotters from 15. Are you having a laugh? Auntie, I'm not gonna say her name. She's like an auntie to me. She's the ends C head. She just got clean. She was clean for years and then she's come out and she's back on the stuff. Do you think it's funny to say how many lines have you taken today? Do you know how many people are addicted to that stuff? Do you know how many communities it destroys? Do you know how many families and lives that it destroys? And you're coming on here and you're making last bite and you're supposed to be a Christian. This is why people ain't coming no more. This is why they're leaving in droves. This is why you lot ain't getting no success. This is why you're looking crazy outside in these streets. And when you lot are out there, video them. Video Karis talking to people, walking past them. It's embarrassing. Let me come and do the content. And when you lot are out there, if you've got my number and they're out, call me so I can come down, man. The heart of a lot of these spaces is not godly at all. Welcome, Lola. The hearts are WICKED. They have hearts of stone. It's not flesh. So that's why in 2025, tally in the cut. That's why in 2025, people are opening their eyes. They're not, you're talking the talk, but you're not walking the walk. How about that? You're not walking the walk. So everyone's seen it. You got pastors graping and they're saying the gal them in there. You got all types of stuff going on, Chair. You got all types of stuff going on in there. You having a laugh. You know, a survivor did a breakdown. She was in the cult from the 80s. She only left in 2017 or something. Yeah, there was a high-ranking member graping her for over a decade. When this woman, she sat there because I did some content on the financial exploitation. You know, the 3-part series. She went on and calculated how much money my girl had given. Guys, it was over 200 bags, 200 grand. My girl calculated it to be about £236,000. There are people who sold their houses back in 2002 that were worth about 300 grand. Them houses would have been worth over $1 million right now to go and build a little tin hut in the church to sell books. So people let go of their £1 million fortune where they got a property in London because they were doing well, their whole pension, their whole retirement went to go and sell it to go and build a bookshop. And you know that Pastor Ike, who built the bookshop in the cult? When I left, I said to my pastor, because I had about 3 things that I was saying, this is why I'm leaving. One of them was, when you go in the bookshop, it's all Bishop's books. That we can't buy other books. This is information control. Hear him to me. They just opened that shop to help Brother Ike out. So when he was there, they were selling other books, but now he's lost. He's left. We just sell Bishop's books now. I went to go and tell Pastor Ike. Pastor Ike went to go and call Bishop Richard, and he said, never. Stop telling your pastors to stop lying to the members and telling them that you gave me an opportunity. My man sold his yard, £300,000. Sister Philippa and her husband used to stay with them back in the day when her husband was trying to make it being a businessman, when she used to be following him around selling sandwiches, all right? That's Wagwan. And Pastor Ike had them all staying in his house. He had a big house. and guest ministers and people used to come over and stay at the yard. Don't play with me, babes, because I'm old school. I'm an OG. All right. So there's a lot of different things. So you lot don't know anything over there anywhere. Do you know? And you lot can be out in your droves doing evangelism, because guess what? It's not working. It's falling on deaf ears. Like, no one's listening. Like, even the people that they bring, because guys, it's about retention. It's about the people staying. These people have got to stay. This evangelism. And if you haven't seen my content on YouTube, go and see my content about what's recruitment got to do with cults. Because all it is recruitment. That's it. It's to further. They say it's to further the gospel, but it's not to further the gospel. It's to further the business. It's to further David Antry's pocket. How about that? And it's for David to get the supply to feed the grandiose ideologies that he has of himself. Because remember, if these men are saying, I'm a prophet, I'm a this, I'm a that, they'll look like they've lost it. But it's the members that feed the supply and feed the validation. Thanks, Pecos. They feed the validation. They feed into the psychosis of the cult leader. That's why I'm telling you, look, ignore them. Walk on by. Just walk on by, chair. Don't give them the supply. Because when they start getting angry, I'm telling you something. Happy Sunday, Pecos. I'm telling you something. The reception that they've got going out is very different from the reception they've had in many years before that. A lot more people are speaking out. A lot more people are saying no. They've got a reputation. So that's what I'm saying. It doesn't matter how much outreach they do. It doesn't matter how much spectacular evangelism events they do, whatever. Listen, for recruitment, and that's the purpose why they're out there. Thank you, Disturbettes. That's the reason why they're out there. It's recruitment. Don't ever get it twisted. Don't ever get... If it's to share the gospel and the love of God, then you've done that. Well done. But we know it's all about recruitment, chair. And one of the main points when I was covering this topic yesterday was it's a good reputation. Word of mouth, yeah, word of mouth. And all over TikTok, all the social media, they all know that Karis is a J-O-K-E, do you know what I mean? And that it's a cult. You're welcome. That's because of me. I did that. Put my name on it. How about that? So you lot want to be going and saying this, that, and the third, but I'm one girl, babe. There's thousands of you. How have I been able to make such an impact? David Antry's shaking in his boots. He's discussing me from the pulpit, babe. Do you know what I mean? I'd be absolutely embarrassed if that was my leader, chair. Do you know what I mean? Recruiting vulnerable people, targeting them, chair. I discussed this. When you look at recruitment in a business, the business model, which is exactly the same as the church cults, because that's what they are. They're businesses. They're doing up franchises. That's what. Do you know a survivor said to me, Leah? The only place where we use the word branches is banks. I said, whoa! Is that King Joker? I said, Lord God, Jesus Christ, Mary, Peter, John, and Paul. You get me? What? That's what it's all about, yeah. It's all about yeah. It's like they're banks. That's what they are. They're coming to collect. When it's your payday, get ready to come and bring your 10%. Do you know how bad it was back in the day? We never had cashless society. Lucia, you have what can happen? I'm surprised to see you. I've got to message you and say, God, the life is on. Lucia, you are lucky you woke up to see my presence. How do you feel? I am here. Everybody can feel my presence, my anointing. Stretch forth your hands in the screen. Stretch forth your hands in the screen. I'm going to pray over you. May the Lord transfer the anointing like a plug. Lucia, receive it. Take it one. Take it two. Yeah, I'm fired up this morning, man. I'm going to see my niece. It's her 1-year birthday. Is that my alpha male? Alpha male. Do you remember when Nia Cerise tried to say that Timothy on the DL was an alpha male? Babe, I've been on it. My eyeballs have just opened. Ooh! Yes, girl. Yes, girl. Do you know what? Everyone's gonna love Lisa. We've got our survivor link-ups coming, all right? Just guys, do you know what though? I'm just like, I just want to do, I've got so many ideas. I want to do live music, I want to do pop. But guys, it's gonna be short notice, all right? It's gonna be because I've got the kids this week. It's gonna be next week. The survivor link-up is gonna be next week, guys. Please just have it in your mind. You know, all the legit people who come on, like it's gonna be next week and it's gonna be in London, most likely South London. All right. Okay, so somebody asked me that's how they do it. That's how they do it. And in the summer, basically, the reason why they're out in droves and you're seeing them everywhere like flies is because the summer, they see it as their month to do something for the Lord, like extra, like to get out there and save all the lost. So basically, they'll be in there preaching, firing up the people. Oh, in the world, they are raving. I've got a venue for you. Ooh! All right, message me, babe. Ooh, Black Efficient said she's got a venue, yeah. That's even better. Queens Road. Ooh! Yes, girl. But Black Efficient, you got to message me, babe. Or maybe you have, chair. Maybe I haven't checked. But that's perfect. Oh my God, that is perfect. Queens Road, Peckham. Yeah. That's perfect, chair. All right. So this process is a slow process. It's subtle. And you don't know when it's been done to you. Why? Because they mystically manipulate. using the scriptures to twist and to just fabricate, just lie. Thanks for the heart meat. It's just lies. It's just all deception and lies, guys. They want a totalitarian structure. Do you know what a lot of these church cults are giving? North Korea, yeah. Guys, I got to come off around 10 to be exact. Yeah. So do you know what's funny when you're saying Rastafari? You know why? You know, Dag, Paycus, do you know what? You should take it up with First Love, because he's what he's done is he's taken Bob Marley's classic, because I know for you Rastafarians that's holy sacred music. He's taken over it and he's written his own lyrics over it. Absolute blasphemy, babe. So I just want to say big up all my Rastafari people in the car. Paycus, go and look it up. If you put in Ida, Waiting in Vain, yeah, and all of that, go and put on Ida Bob Marley covers and you'll see it. It's just an absolute travesty. That's my biggest beef with First Love. It's them taking the Bob Marley tracks and going and putting his own lyrics on it. That's my biggest beef with them. That's why I'm talking out. If people ask me what's upset you the most, that's why. Because Bob Marley's a national treasure for us, all right? And you've gone, yeah, and you absolutely understand. And they've gone and they've taken absolute classics that are not meant to be touched, chair. There's certain tunes, like certain Michael Jackson tunes, certain Luther Vandross and certain Bob Marley. We don't cover them. We don't cover the legends, chair. You can sample it, but we don't cover it. Okay, because we don't think that there's anyone who's come after or before Bob Marley that can do a better job. But here Dad goes, thinking, because he thinks he's God, he thinks he's an artist, he thinks he's best, but Dad, he's so delusional that he thinks his Bob Marley covers are better than the original Bob Marley, and it's Bob Marley's track, melody, everything. He thinks he's made it better. It's absolute insanity. And they have track for Bob Marley, words of Imperial Selassie. Yes, chair. What are you? He's lucky that I haven't tagged Black TikTok. Do you get me? And all the Rastafari share, because you can't touch Bob Marley's tunes, man. It's religious. It's sacred. I understand you're exposing cults within Christian. Oh, girl, just show them a warm welcome. Let's talk now. I don't actually want to talk. Lucia, chop. Lucia, this is what I'm talking about, the mods. I need to get new mods, because you know when you're in the church cult, yeah, you see if they don't change the words on the screen, I'll be like, are you alive? Are you awake? Timothy. And they'll be calling out their government name. Timothy, are you do you need glasses? I think he needs glasses. Does he need help? Somebody go and help him from the back. Bob Marley set it all up. Rastafari, King of Kings. Big him up, man. Does he need help? Does he need that support? Somebody go and help him. Timothy, did you have your Weetabix this morning? Are you awake? Are you alive? Are you with us? Are you here? I just woke up, baby. Yes, girl. And you know what? I did some content basically showing, what's that guy's name? I can't even remember. Now I've been out of this mess for so long, Chair. I can't even remember his name. It might be Pastor Minano. There's one in there. Ogo. Bishop Ogo. That's his name, Bishop Ogo. And he was telling the guy that he's going to go to HERL because he's invited people, but they haven't come to stay, and he hasn't saved souls, and he's dead. You care about the camera? You care about being seen? They've put this guy in the ministry to do the camera on the stage. They're telling this guy he wants to be seen and he likes to do camera. Guys, it's gone absolutely viral on YouTube. Go and check out my shorts because they got it off TikTok. But it's all good because I've got my feet on social media now. Like, I know what to post on TikTok now. I know what to post on YouTube. I know what to post on, because this content creating stuff, it's not a joke. It's a full-time job, Chair. You have to research like what's going on. And I want to try, and again, guys, I want to try and thanks, Paycast. I want to try and be building my YouTube account more. So if you've got YouTube, please go and subscribe. Leah Lauder 777. Subscribe. The heart of a lot of these spaces is not godly at all. There's no God. And you know what? It's when it comes to that place, actually, Lola, it's really great that you said that, because you start questioning, where is God? And because and that's why, you know, part of that recruitment is that they like to have recruit a lot of people and have a thriving workforce and this and that, because it encourages the other members. It keeps up. Like I was saying, the reason why they do the events and these evangelical things and they always want to get people, it's for the morale of the congregation. It's all for the self-sealing system, because half of the people that come in, if you're teaching on why tithing Christians are rich and why non-tithing Christians are poor, and someone's come into the church for the first time, they're hearing Dad's doctrine, one of you is a devil. What are they going to get out of that? There's people that have come, they feel like they're going to delete themselves. That's it. And then you come in. We don't want to hear about money, babe. We don't want to hear about time. We want to hear about practical things, like real things, like how can our life practically change? Like people want an experience where they come in and they meet Christ. We're hearing the words of, that's all you have to do, babe. That's it. is just stand there with the Bible. It's so easy. Anyone could do it. You don't need to add. You don't need to take. You don't need. Just stand there and teach the parables and then explain it through the way. Exactly. It's so simple, Faith. It's so simple, crap. But they don't want to do that because that doesn't bring the crowds. They need to have the basketball court in the thing. They need to have the smoke machines. They need to have the flashing lights. They need to have the disco lights. They need to have the backing tracks. They need to have the dancers like they're in a club. The churches have turned into a club. That's why when I see them close down and they're doing up businesses or people are building their houses, I think, yes, great. It's better use of the space, really and truly. Clock it. And that's what it is. The reason why they're closing at such rapid rates is because people don't want to be there anymore. That's do you know what? The truth is, we love you guys so much. You're such beautiful people. Christians are so loving. They're so, I mean, they'll give the shirt off their back, won't they? We see them stop to feed the homeless. They're not rushing by the homeless to get to their church rehearsal and just walking past them like they're human fecal matter. No, the Christians stop on the road to feed the homeless. They do so much for the communities. That's why the world is such a beautiful place right now, because we've got billions of Christians worldwide, and they've all contributed to humanitarian efforts. You know, it would be an absolute travesty if they kept themselves in a self-sealing system, created their own kingdom, segregated themselves from the whole outside world, started demonizing the world, doing us versus them, created a totalitarian system in which they call it the kingdom of God, Christendom, and create their own thing in their own business, everything, and exclude the rest of the world and think it's okay. But if anyone else did that to them, they would be the first to play victim and say, oh, we're persecuted. Hey, White Bear. So, you know, I'm just here to just highlight the obvious, because sometimes you just need someone to say it here. Oh, okay. If that's what you feel, but unfortunately, I didn't attend a mosque. You know, so I can't say. I just want to big up all the Muslim man them, because I do that. They, you know, when you get the right one, they are absolute providers, and if they got good D as well, it's just lovely. And they'll just be messaging you. They'll be in the mosque chair. You know, my ninja used to put the video on. You know, so I could see I'm seeing some imam like this chair, and you know, because I don't go, it was all crazy. I could just hear the thing in the background chair. My man's putting the video, you know, he's putting the video for me to her. That's where he was, chair. He didn't want me thinking he was with a gal. You get me? So big up all the Muslim man them. But I'm not here to talk about that, because I didn't grow up in that religion, unfortunately. So I have nothing to talk about. Do you know what I'm saying? I don't know the surahs, but I know the Bible from Genesis to Revelation. And just to let y'all know, I'm doing up the Apocrypha. So this is why I'm saying, by virtue of me just consolidating the literature of the Apocrypha, which is the 100 books that they decided that the Roman whitey colonialists decided that they couldn't put in the canon, yeah? So when your leaders and mugs and that they want to come and have a debate or a conversation with me, it will be included in the Apocrypha, all right? So they need to get ready for Maccabees and Jubilees and Enoch in the cut. You get me? And they'll be standing there, yeah, that's what I thought. That's what Abelard Clark thought. That's what I thought. So this is why I'm telling you that people end up in these spaces when they've hit rock bottom, when they're in the lowest of the lowest, in the cut. Yes, girl. The lowest of the lowest. Thanks, baby. Thanks, don't worry. Listen, but I've got EUPD, babe. So some days I'm on here barling. You get me? Woo! So I'm just going to tell you, this is what they're doing up in there. They're thieves, all right? They like to, I'll tell you something else. They like to recruit the vulnerable young children and kids. Listen, we be stalking and harassing you. Listen, what I need, all of these little gal and boy them that's out, yeah. I was assaulted by a priest in 1989. I have no trust in these places. Facts expert. Oh, you're gonna make me cry. I just want to say that my heart goes out to you. I absolutely love you. And do you know what? This is really important, because they come in, oh, just come back to the Catholic Church. But look at this. Look at this. Look at all of the stuff that's happened. It's like we've forgotten, because Catholicism, all of their stuff from the 80s and the 90s is resurfacing now. It's an absolute MESS. I want to say my heart goes out to you, babe. And this is why I do it. This is why I do it, for people like you. Do you understand what I'm saying? Thanks for the follow, babe, so that our voices can get heard. We have a collective. You're more than welcome to be a part of us. But you in particular, follow my Leah Lauder 7 account, okay, baby? Because that's my main account. And I say, I've got 8 accounts. They're trying to get me off the net because I speak the truth. A French pastor said we should give him money that he will put in God's bank. Oh, my God. Okay, we'll talk about that. Heavenly mindedness and teeth in the invisible blessings. Thank you, love. A long time ago, but it's still big cut and wounds I'll always have. Yeah, of course. Do you know what I'm saying? Of course, because the trauma, what it will do to your psyche. Go on my YouTube, babe, and look at my playlist. Yes, Lucia, please pin. Go on my playlist. I've got a deconstruction folder. I've got a healing folder. I've got a lot of stuff that I've done there around essay and grape. And do you know what? I think I'm going to go move into that, the essay and grape and the psychology, like what it does. And I'm going to see if I can get a survivor, an OG who was raped by a high-ranking pastor for 10 years. All right. So please make sure you follow my main account because I'll be promoting that everywhere. Oh, no problem, my love. You're welcome to be part of our collective. We have survivor link ups where we meet. We've got one coming in 2 weeks. So if you feel like there's a lot of people who have been essayed and raped by mogs and priests, and unfortunately within the collective, I'm really sad to say it, but it's really common. And majority of the people, if you were to come to the survivor link up, quite a few of them would have been essayed and raped by a monk or a priest, or so just to let you know that you're in safe hands. This is a safe space, and please feel free. You might feel like you want to come on a live one day and talk about it. It might be that you need to share your truth. You might not, but it's also a space to come on and speak if you need to. You might be having a hard day, so please feel welcome, my love. And this is the thing. Look, I meant to talk about totalitarianism, Chair. I want to talk about the invisible blessings. Queen Lucia, if you can find that comment, my love. If not, it's absolutely fine. I want to talk about the invisible blessings, spice in the cup, because the invisible blessings, is what they market. And this is why I'm saying to you, look, this is a perfect business. Do you remember I told you that I was seeing that Muslim guy? Oh, I'm good, Chocks. Thank you, Spice. Remember I was telling you that I was seeing that Muslim white ninja, And I know it's been a hot minute, Chair. How are you, Queen? So anyway, long story short, one time we were there, and this girl, she goes to UCKG, Chair. That's why I had to distance myself from her a bit. But we were all in the cafe getting food, and he was paying for us, Can you imagine? It weren't a cheap cafe, Chair. And then he was like, oh, he's in the wrong business. Just for, I don't even know why he started talking about this, Chair. He said he's in the wrong business. He needs to go and do what, and he's got money. He gets 6 figures a year. And then he was saying, oh, he just needs to go and start a church. And my friend flipped out, boy. They're radical and he's going to, what do you mean? You lot are always come, when they start demonizing them and saying, oh, you think you can say anything about us? And when it comes to you, we can't say nothing. Because they RADICAL them in there. They use the propaganda and the over sensationalized, negative media coverage that they do. They use that. Because these CCs, they're just like the news. They're just like the American president. Do you understand? So they use that to fuel it, because they need a scapegoat. They need a us versus them. They need people to demonize. So that's what they do. And it's usually that particular, hey, Porsche, hey, Queen, hey, sis. They do that and they use it because they need a scapegoat, you see. It's like they're perfect. They've got all of the, these people, it's the Antichrist, it's the devil, it's not true. It's not. So you'll see them going back and forth and fighting, and it's it's so pointless. Do you know what I'm saying? It's because of the RADICAL. Like me, I've got gnosis knowledge in it. Thanks, decency. I've got gnosis knowledge, so I'm not going to waste my time going back and forth with someone who's severely indoctrinated, not going to believe what I'm talking about, this, that, and the third. The only time you get a conversion from one faith to the other is because they're traumatized. More time the gal them ended up marrying and getting in their religion because of man, because that's what most of them do, especially from South London. Hi, Temi. Do you know how much gal I've known in my day who's converted for some D? You lot, I'm not, and you know what it is about them man them from that religion as well. Oh my God, when they want you, they come in strong. Because there used to be this guy from the block here, from my girl's block here, when I first started moving in South and going down there. And guys, he moved to, where was it? It was either, I feel like it was Egypt. My man moved to Egypt, and he was going the week before. Guys, I was 17. This is how vulnerable I was. 17, and he was fine as hell, Chair. When there's the only one on the block, the hood clean, making money. You get me? He's made his money and he's going to move to Egypt. He must be thriving now. So anyway, it was either Dubai or Egypt. I can't remember. And he was like, oh, come away with me. He was telling me he wants me to be his wife, Chair. Oh my God, I've known this guy for 5 minutes, Chair. And he was telling me he wants me to come to Egypt with him, and that was 17. But imagine if I'd gone, you see what I mean, guys, it's just the Lord, seriously. If I took, it's just the Lord, because these ninjas I was dealing with, oh God. And I just used to see the guy on the block we used to talk, but he'd never seen a chick like me, And that was 2000, that was 2004. And it was in South London. Thanks for the follow, Charles. West Camden went on the block. They weren't on Kennington Park Estate. You get me? They weren't in Southampton Way. They weren't in Aylesbury Estate. It was just the gal them in trackies, and I'm coming in. You get me with my little belly top. Let anyone try me, babe. What you telling me? In my little belly top and my, I used to do up Aaliyah. So I used to have the new era hats, and then I used to have my side. You get me? Oh my God, the man them were going crazy, Chair. The man them were going crazy. Thanks, oh my, I was a celeb in South. Are you having a laugh? I was a celeb in South London because the West gal them, they were soft. They just got taken up for the clubs. They weren't really in these streets. So I was like a celebrity. Are you having a laugh? Oh my God. You lot, I used to come to the hood raves in Brixton, Angel Town. Are you crazy? In my heels and my little skirt. And all the gal them. And that's what I'm saying. You got to be yourself. Because I came to Bricky fresh from West. I didn't know none of the gal them. I knew about 2 gal in there. No man that I'm there, one up, you know, from West. But the hood gal them from Bricky, they put respect on my name because it's like, rah, she's come like, you get me, like in her raving fit. And a lot of them, they're like tomboys. So that's how I started making friends with them because I'm ready to rumble. But at the same time, I look girly in it. So they like it because I just, you get me, just from nowhere. And they're like, rah, you get me, they were feeling the energy. Are you having a bubble? You get me? So it was different. Why did we get into all of that, chair? Yeah, but anyway, I don't even know why I got into that. Yeah, we were talking about the Muslims. So that's the only experience I have with that is the mandem. I'm not going to lie to you. And I haven't had a bad experience with Muslim mandem. They take care of you and they pay the bills. Been that girl since day. Yeah, been on the throne for over 20 years, babe. I'm 38 now. So I've been on the throne since 15 years old. Do you get? I was getting the hood celebs from 15 years old. Do you know what I mean? So your girl's been on the throne for 23 years in the car. So when these gal them, have you been alive for 23 years and you want to come and have some chat for me? And what I'm saying is, this is why I feel like people in these settings need to focus on themselves and their marriage. Because if we were to go in a lineup and I was in that lineup, there's a lot of gal them that are in their 20s that are in there laving it out. And the man them would choose me every time. 38 with saggy, you know what, and 2 kids share. Thank you for the follow, Tisha. Do you understand what I'm saying? 38 years old, can't even have kids. The man them would still be choosing me, chair. All right, Dennis on YouTube. And do you know why I talk about this? Because all they care about is the banana fruit bowl. That's all they care about. It's on period point blank. Majority of the gal them that go there, guys, it's for the banana bowl. It's for the fruit bowl. They love bananas. I've always got on better with the man them just because the NRG is easy to be around. Yeah. And it's like, do you know what, girl? Women can be very jealous. Oh, it's 10 o'clock. All right, 10 more minutes. Bev, tell me in 10 more minutes, please. I'm coming off, guys. I've got 10 more minutes. Get your questions ready. Guys, I might be back later in the evening, but I have to drive far. So if I'm not back today, I've just done this little live. It's on YouTube. You can go back and look at it. So we've got our service. We've had our service today. And we've finished early. I said to you today was just going to be a quick, short service. You know, when they say that, they say, oh, today's just going to be a quick service. It's guaranteed to be an hour minimum. Is that quick or... Is that, I didn't know that was quick, a whole hour sitting in front of the TV and doing absolutely nothing. Oh my God, Ola, please message me, babe, because I've had my child knocking on my door every single day asking about this play date chair. I've just seen my youngest BFF's mum. I'm like, please message me, because this summer his child is not going to leave me alone. All right, yeah, see you soon as well, my love. Let me quickly talk about the gal them, okay? There is so much jealousy in these settings. It's unbelievable. It's absolutely unbelievable. I firstly want to talk about the married couples that are in celibate marriages, single married husbands and wives, okay? They're the most disgruntled. And I just want to say, I love the institution of marriage. I think it's binding magic. And I just want to say, I love the married couples. They look so happy. They spend so much time together. They don't sleep in separate beds. They don't not blow out each other's backs. They don't not get, you know, like I love when the husbands, you know, shower their wives with gifts. They don't get them a mug from Asda. Do you know what I'm saying? Or nothing at all. Or they don't get them nothing at all to appreciate the fact that they're giving them 2 kids. Or, you know, they don't go on holidays. I think that they take their wives out all the time. They spend a lot of money on their wives. They give them undivided attention. They're able to balance. That's what I love about these settings. The balance is, I mean, it's superb. Kids don't get neglected. It's a really, really good setting where people will come to this setting with their kids, and their first ministry. What's the first ministry? It's to love the Lord, your God, with all your heart, all your mind in it. But then they say that, yeah, okay, that is supposed to be the first rule to ministry, because you can't love others unless you love God with all your heart, because that's where you need to be able to see non-judgment, or not to think the way God thinks, to have a heart the way God heart. And then the second greatest commandment onto that is to love yourself. It's to love yourself, but they demonize it as a new age practice. Can you imagine, Lucy and Eds? They don't want you to love yourself. If you don't love yourself, who's going to love you? Who's going to love? Some of us are celibate. Where's all my celibate queen? Some of us are celibate, but we're not getting any action at all. So how are the women supposed to? That's why the women are in the office bawling. That's why you see them all over TikTok. Oh, I wish I could get that feeling when I was first born again. And I just want to say, I'm so happy to be a Christian, guys. I think I'm going to have to do it from this lens on the live. I'm so happy to be a Christian. I love being a Christian. They are the most loveliest people. That's why I'm still in there. Do you know what I mean? Do you know what, guys? I think the most kindest women that you will ever find will be in the church. They're especially the pastors' wives. I mean, they don't manipulate you and find out, you know, your past to use that against you, to use your weaknesses and then preach from the pulpit in a mystical, manipulative way to keep you kept in the self-sealing system. They don't manipulate you in text messages. They don't. Do you know, guys? Even when I was in the cult, yeah, there were people like who would like see me as a shepherd, like a leader, and they'd want to buy things for me and do this and do that. And I used to have to be like, no, babe. Like, or if, because there's some people like Lucia, no matter what you do, she's so generous. She's got a big heart. Like this girl, yeah. Like we went out. It's like my girl wants to pay for everything. So I have to get like the desserts and I have to get her like an extra wine or whatever. Because if and it's not like, and I already said to Lucia, she was like, I don't want you to feel like you're doing that because I'm doing this. And I said, no, it's not about that, babe, but I do have the change, like, because I was going to come here and I was going to pay for my meal anyway. Do you understand what I'm saying? You've blessed me by paying for that meal, but I can still be a blessing onto you. Even if I don't really have it like that, I don't want people to ever feel like I'm exploiting. I would rather use my last £2 to even get Lucia a dessert and not for myself to say, okay, I've done something. Because I know her heart is pure and she sees it as, oh, I want to do it. But you've got to understand, I've been in an environment where that pastor's wife, every minute I was paying for the petrol, paying for her stuff. She was exploiting me. She was happy to manipulate me and happy to take the money. I'm a mega church cult survivor. I'm exposing church cults. So in that moment, it's like, I did that because someone like that, they're generous. Like Lucia will just tap the card. There's no time. Do you understand what I'm saying? So someone like that, you need to do things back for them because they are naturally generous. And it's these kind of people. And babe, to be honest, I hope you don't mind me sharing this. But I was thinking the whole time, like, she is the type of person, like, when you get them in these environments, oh my God, that's like, it's like payday. Do you understand? Oh, thanks. Big Chief said I'm lit. Thank you. It's like payday. When they see people like Lucia come in, whitey face, she looks exotic, but to them, I mean, they see me as an oyembo, babe. Do you understand? So it's like, these are the people that they see, that they want. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, when you're a giver. And you know what? I don't think I've spoken about generosity a lot, but guys, if you are generous, you can't just be like being too giving. Yes, you will be blessed, but you've got to put your boundaries up with the giving because that can make you very vulnerable. They take advantage of good souls and good-looking gal too. Oh yeah, Faith. Those are the ones that the pastors essay and eat grapes. They just, you know, they just force themselves. And as I was saying yesterday, all of the second gen, third gen, whatever, the instrumentalists, the people who were born in these settings, when they see the pretty gal them come in, they start to move to them. They start to try and see if they can get true because they know it's a bunch of human fecal matter. So ladies, when you go to the setting and the man them start trying to blow out your back, they're flirting with you. They know it's human fecal matter. They've been there for years, chair. And that's why when they see a pretty girl come in, they know they would never get a gal like that, not a million years outside of the self-sealing system. So what do? They come in, and because they're teaching all the time on marriage, find a husband, no, find a wife. You have to get married when you're young. Fornication, go to HELL. It's like you're getting indoctrinated. So when a man comes to you now, and all he has to do is talk the talk. This girl's naive. She's vulnerable. She's got a past of hypersexuality, maybe being great, whatever it is. Yeah. That's majority of the women that come in there because you've got to be in rock bottom. You've got to be like in the slums to end up in these spaces. Do you understand? To believe these men are something, yeah? So this is where it happens. And the Preds are work. They've been in there for years. They know the system. They know that it's a misogynistic, patriarchal system. They can keep sleeping with the girls. The girls are going to get demonized. Even though she's been in the cult for 6 months and this guy's been in there for 26 years, the girl is the Jezebel. Do you see? So that's where we get gender inequality. That's where we get judgmental. That's where we get discrimination. And that's where we get straight up human fecal matter. All right, when you have grown up having to give others because that was surviving, it comes second nature. Yeah. Oh, okay. So you see that it's about unpacking that. And in the collective, Lucia, you won't get people like, because everyone's like that in the collective. Everyone's like that. We're all the same. Do you understand what I'm saying? So we will always be, you know, like, it's like an equal exchange. Even Nancy's another one. I'm not even going to talk about her chair. Nancy, you'll get on with Nancy. Nancy's just an absolute pure soul. And again, I could have taken advantage of Nancy financially. Do you understand what I'm saying? There are, and another thing I want you lot to know, because since I've been in this role, I don't see it as a leadership role, but they would see it because they've got that's all they know. They only know dictatorship or whatever. But as I've been doing this role, what I've been realizing is I can see how God needs to take you through many trials, like humbling, like many different things, to like be given a certain, like entrusted with people. With people's truths, and it's so deep, man. It's so deep, because what they do is, you see, when people come into church and they say, "Oh yeah, I'm a stay-at-home mom. My husband's an entrepreneur," blah blah blah. Their eyes start to open and they're, "Woo, this one's got money. I can exploit this." When they hear the personal information, do you know what I mean? Like, and Lucia, that's why you see, like someone else, they might be got a really good job, being a doctor, getting 6 figures, whatever, but you're going to be paying for giving the pastor petrol, paying for clothes for her, buying her food with the little that you have. Do you understand what I'm saying? Because of all of your past and your traumas and your vulnerability, you feel like you owe this woman all your money, all your life. The doctor who's earning 6 figures could be giving more to the church cult, but he comes from a more stable background. So do you see how I'm saying? That doctor could have been in there for 10 years. He's got 3 kids. He's married to a woman. Do you understand? You've just been in the cult for 6 months, but you've spent over 3 grand since you've been on there on your spiritual mother. Because you're easy to manipulate. You're easy to teeth from. You're easy to financially exploit. The doctor, they can't exploit. But from the doctor, they're going to get his £300 or his £500 or his £1,000 tithe a month. So they'll even show that guy more respect than you. Because consistently over time, he's given that consistent amount. However, you're more valuable, and you would be more of a high grade supply, because you're feeding that supply, you're feeding that ego, you're feeding that narcissistic thirst and urge. And you, all right, I'm coming off now. Thank you, Bev. You are not going to give the mog or the wog a narcissistic injury, because you're going to be begging it all the time, like myself. They want a lave. I was crying for my pastor, like I worship him. Like, come on, that supply, it doesn't get greater than that. And on that note, I'm going to end the live. We were supposed to be doing up totalitarianism. Dennis, let me read that Dennis's comments quickly. They carefully draw up narcissistic rules, woo, and regulations of the ministries. Yes. Denny, are you still there? For these scribes, it's all about money. Woo! And on that note, we're going to leave it in the voice of the survivors. Okay? It's all about money on Period Point Black. So guys, keep your purses tightly shut. Keep your legs shut, ladies in the church cult, and I will see you later. If I don't come back on later, I'll be on Monday. Love you, TikTok. It's on YouTube, all right? I'll see you later, my baby alligator. All right, Insta, thank you so much for coming on and joining me on live. Why is it not ending, guys? It doesn't want me to go. All right. Thank you so much, Instagram, for joining me. I love y'all. I'm going to go on whatever. I might be back later. So YouTube, I'm going to be hopefully back later. If not, if it's too much of a busy day, because this is family time. And, you know, since leaving this cult, I've just started to, you know, just rebuild this relationship with my family. And it's absolutely beautiful. So I may not be on this evening, today, later on, if I end up spending, you know, going into the evening with my family. But I might be on, it all depends how tired I am when I come back. Love you guys. Hope that the lives helped. Bye.